3-1 in conference play. Meanwhile, Mount San Jacinto, a record of 7-1, a perfect 4-0 in conference play so far. The one loss for Mount San Jacinto came back in week 1, and it was a forfeit loss against Riverside City College when Mount San Jacinto was unable to play the game due to COVID concerns. And that came all the way back in week 1. Since then, they have been lights out. 7 straight wins to move their record to 7-1. After winning the toss, Mount San Jacinto will defer, and Pasadena City College will have the ball first. And they come in against a red-hot Eagle squad. I mentioned the 7 wins in a row. In their last 5 wins, the Eagles, with the #1 offense in the state, have gone for 50-plus points. So a major challenge for Pasadena City College here tonight defensively against the top offense in the state. Meanwhile, for Pasadena City College, they come in on a winning streak themselves, having won their last 2 after dropping a 5-point loss at Grossmont. That was 24-19 back on October 16th, but they have rebounded with a couple of wins in a row to move their record to 6-2. Getting set for opening kick, and Pasadena will work it from left to right here in the first quarter.
Set to return for the Lancers. Number 4, Jabari Kindle. 9, Justin Campbell.
Kindle and Campbell back deep to receive the opening kick for Pasadena.
Kicking off for the Eagles, number 50.
Big night here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We've got a huge game here in the American Conference in the Mountain Division, with all kinds of playoff implications. And our other game tonight taking place at College of the Canyons, big playoff implications in the National Conference, with Ventura traveling to Canyons to take on College of the Canyons. So it's playoff atmosphere all over the place here on SoCal College Sports. And we are moments away, and we are underway. Kick away, and it's Campbell who's going to take it on a hop at the 15. Out to the 25. Hit at the 30, still on his feet, and pressing forward out near the 40-yard line. They will spot it out at the 39-yard line, a 24-yard return for Campbell. And the Pasadena offense will take over behind quarterback Cade Wentz. Cade Wentz has largely split time this season with quarterback Edward Norton, but we get the word from Coach Robert Tucker that Norton been battling injuries all week, and he will not be available tonight. And in fact, Cade Wentz himself battling some injuries and an illness this week, and he only practiced one time this week. That was yesterday in preparation for the game. Third-string Jacob Doolittle actually took most of the snaps during practice, so we might see Doolittle tonight as well. Man in motion, but they keep it on the ground. Rather, it's a read option, and it's Wentz on the keeper, dragged down by Rapola after a gain of 5 out to the 44-yard line. And, well, welcome to Pasadena City College football. If you are not familiar, you're going to see an awful lot of that, the option there, and they fake to Anderson. Wentz on the keeper. Wentz and Norton, the 2 quarterbacks, the 2 leading rushers for Pasadena City College on the season. So expect to see a lot of quarterback runs for Pasadena City College by way of the option. Back to Wentz. This time it is Anderson shedding a tackle at the line. Anderson's got the first down and more. He is into Mount San Jacinto territory all the way down to the 40-yard line. That gets the crowd into it. Alante Orange finally bringing him down, but not before Anderson rips off 14 yards, I should say 16 yards, to the 40-yard line of Mount San Jacinto. Well, when you're against a potent offense, one way to combat that, you better believe, is to put some points on the board. So talked about the challenge for Pasadena City College defensively here tonight against a good Eagle squad, but the offense also has a stern test here, and they're going to have to put up a pretty big number if they want to pull what could only be considered a mild upset. Back to Anderson again, hit at the line, but manages to fall forward for a gain of a yard. Kelvin Davis with the stop. 2nd down and 9. See a couple of changes for Pasadena. They'll change the package as Wentz gets the call. Favorite target for Wentz is going to be Wheeler Smith. Interesting story about Wheeler Smith, not only the leading receiver for Pasadena City College, but a childhood friend of Cade Wentz. They grew up together, played football together for years, all the way through high school, and now on to college at Pasadena City College. So a lot of synergy with those two. They've known each other pretty much their whole lives, and they will look to get Smith involved certainly here tonight as the leading receiver. Meanwhile, it's Anderson with another carry down to the 35. It'll bring up the first third down tonight. It's a 3rd and 5 for Pasadena at the 35-yard line of Mount San Jacinto. Pasadena on the season, very strong on third down, 42% third down conversions for the season. They'll send Smith solo to the right, bunch 3 wide receivers to the left for this 3rd and 5 play. Little movement, could be a free play for Wentz. Straight drop, Wentz going to go deep looking for Smith, who makes the leaping catch inside the 5, down to the goal line and in for a touchdown. Wentz finds Smith for 35 yards. There is a flag down, but it is a call against Mount San Jacinto. That will be declined, and Pasadena, with 12:13 to go in the first quarter, is on the board as Wentz goes deep to Wheeler Smith. For Wentz, that is touchdown pass number 13 on the season for Wheeler Smith. That is his 6th touchdown reception. Placement down for the extra point, up and good. 7-0 Pasadena goes 61 yards, capped off by Wentz to Smith to grab the early lead. It's Pasadena City College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Javier Luna, Dorian Cole back deep for the Eagles to receive the kick. Pasadena on the board quickly, and they lead it 7-0. Mount San Jacinto in the road white jerseys. And again, they are working from right to left. Low kick on one hop. Luna will take it at the 13. Out to the 20. Working to his right, tries to cut it back at the 25. He is hit and brought down there. 12-yard return, and we will see our first appearance of the Eagle offense with 12:06 to go in the first quarter. They will be led by quarterback Devin Friedland. Friedland comes to Mount San Jacinto by way of Saddleback College, where he played in 2019. Handling quarterback duties alongside and eventually backing up Chance Nolan, who had just an insane season for the Gauchos back in 2019. And Friedland moves on, finds a home here at Mount San Jacinto College, where he comes in completing 67% of his passes. They keep it on the ground on first down and a short gain of perhaps a yard as Sherrod White gets the carry. White, the leading tailback for the Eagles on the season, comes in averaging 7.2 yards a carry. 725 yards and 12 touchdowns on the season for White. Three wide receivers on 2nd and 9. Going deep, looking and completing inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line. And it was Coleman who actually starts at quarterback as he finds Talik Brown. So we likely will see Friedland at some point, but Robert Coleman gets the start here tonight, and he flashes a very strong arm. And when we talked to Casey Mazzota about his two quarterbacks, the first thing that he talked about was that both of these guys throw the ball very well. Strong arms and accurate arms. The Eagles overload the right side, but they give it to White straight ahead, pushing the pile for a gain of about 4. Should say closer to 6 yards down to the 26, where it'll be 2nd down and 4. Coleman, just a couple of plays ago, demonstrated the good feet working away from the pressure from the Lancers and then unleashing the deep throw that was on the money to Talik Brown, the second leading receiver for the Eagles coming in here tonight. They'll empty the backfield with White in motion. They fake to White, pressure coming. Coleman on the run, hit as he throws, but finds White on the far sideline down to the 9-yard line. That is an athletic play by Coleman. But White also made a great leaping catch, and that highlights something about Sherrod Wright, and that is he has outstanding hands. 29 receptions for Sherrod Wright, a little over 12 yards per reception, and 4 touchdown receptions on the season for Sherrod White. So nothing about that last play should be remotely surprising, as White makes a terrific catch and gets it inside the 10 down to the 9. So the Eagles looking to answer back very quickly here, and they are quickly in the red zone with a 1st and goal. Fake and a throw into the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for Toscas. Taylor Toscas, who missed the game against Compton a week ago, is back in the lineup today, and he is a guy who has come on after starting the season pretty deep down the depth chart at receiver. He has become a favorite target of both Friedland and Coleman. Back-to-back 100-yard games against Victor Valley and at Desert in the last 3 weeks, and we have a flag before the snap. This is going to back up the Eagles. The Eagles, one of the most penalized teams in the 3C2A, I should say. In fact, in terms of penalties per game and penalty yards per game, they are 62nd and 60th, which ranks them near the bottom in both categories. But like so many of the teams that are among the most penalized, it certainly hasn't hit them in terms of wins and losses, as they're 7-1, and the only loss was by virtue of a forfeit in a game they couldn't play. They fake to White, swing it out to McGee. McGee with a head of steam, inside the 10, inside the 5, and finally pushed out of bounds at the 4-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and goal. So Jalen McGee, Salah O'Day eventually able to force him out of bounds. And they'll spot it at the 5, where it'll be 3rd and goal for their part. The Eagles, 47% 3rd down conversions on the season. 3rd and goal from the 5. White and McGee flanking Coleman. Now they'll send White in motion. It's a quarterback keeper for Coleman. Coleman trying to pick his way forward, but he is stood up short of the goal line. This is going to be a gain of just a couple and a good stand by Pasadena City College. Loretto among the first to get there, along with Ozzie Ragosa coming up from his safety spot, and a good read by Pasadena City College. 4th and goal from the 4. And let's not be surprised that the Eagle offense is going to stay on the field. Mount San Jacinto on the season has attempted a grand total of 1 field goal so far on the season. They're 0 of 1. So not a big surprise here, despite getting kicker Nick Sabilla back in the lineup, who's been battling some injuries, that the Eagles are going to go for it on 4th and goal. Quick throw into the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Rashad Shelton, but the coverage was there. And the Lancers turn away the Eagles in the red zone, and they'll get it back at their own 4-yard line. Terrific start for Pasadena City College. They go right down the field and score on their first possession, and then they bend but don't break against the Eagle offense on their first defensive possession, as the Eagles move it down the field but are turned away at the goal line, failing on a 4th and goal from the 4. Anderson in the backfield with Wentz. as Pasadena works from the shadow of their own goalpost. Back to Anderson, little cut, finds a little running room. He's out past the 10 to the 15. Again, Anderson able to get to that second level before he is brought down by Dylan Morris. So Morris gets the stop, but not before Anderson rips off a run of 12 yards, running behind the left side. Chris Cordova, Francisco Guerrero with a good push, creating a good hole for Anderson. They'll go back to Anderson again behind that left side, and he's able to pick his way forward for a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5, and what a boon it would be for the Lancers if they can run the ball against Mount San Jacinto tonight. Keep that Eagle offense on the sideline, and so far they've been able to do it. It's a 2nd down and 5 from their own 21 as they get out from inside their own 5 with a couple of runs by Miles Anderson. 7:15 as the clock moves here in the first quarter. Anderson in the pistol formation behind Wentz. Anderson in trouble in the backfield, hit, and he is going to be brought down for a loss on the play. Nathan Ortiz leading the charge along with Michael Aram, and they were in the backfield quickly. That is the first time that they've really shut down a Lancer run here tonight. It's a loss of a yard, and it will bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Pasadena. Pasadena able to convert on a 3rd down on their first drive. In fact, if memory serves, they converted big. I believe that was the touchdown pass to Wheeler Smith. 3rd and 6 from the 25. Blitz coming. Wentz steps up, hits, tipped, and caught. Out past the 30 to the 32-yard line, Justin Campbell in the right spot. See if we can get the replay here, but this one was clearly tipped. Yep, don't have the replay, but the ball was deflected, but right to Campbell, so everything coming up Pasadena so far for the Lancers. No complaints. And they convert on 3rd down, get a fresh set of downs from their own 32 as Wentz finds Campbell. Lancers will overload the near side, 3 wide receivers, with Anderson behind Cade Wentz. Anderson again straight ahead, nothing doing. Pushed back, Josh Hilton off the edge with a little help from Ortiz. And the Eagles starting to adjust. Interesting so far as we come toward the 5-minute mark in the first quarter. We've seen just the 1 carry from Wentz, and this might be a little bit of misdirection from Pasadena. It might be a little bit that Cade Wentz has had limited practice this week and battling some injuries and illness. But he's out there toughing it out. But so far it's been a lot of Miles Anderson. Now some miscommunication. Wentz in trouble. Just going to air it out down the far side. It's incomplete. And flags come in late. This likely going to work against the Eagles. On the coverage, it was DeMond Young. I think the pass was intended for Hartfield. I believe that was Jabari Kendall trying to get the number, but it was DeMond Young on the coverage and some contact and a big personal foul, I should say a big pass interference penalty, will give the Lancers a 1st down and move the ball out to their own 47-yard line. And again, this drive started back at the Lancer 4-yard line. So the Lancers are in business near midfield, but at the very least, they have managed to flip the field position after they got the ball at their own 4, as they have it now at their own 47. Cade Wentz looking over the Eagle defense. They come on the blitz again. Read option and a quick pitch. This is Ostry. And he works his way free. Good running room for Ivan Austri inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. That is 16 yards for Ivan Austri. And fans of the Lancers will not be surprised to see that both Austri and Hartfield wide receivers in terms of position, but they will carry the ball plenty. As it's Anderson, it's the quarterbacks, but it is also Austri and Hartfield who will have their numbers called quite a bit to carry the ball. Good execution on the pitch, and Austri turns it into 16 yards, and the Lancers continue to move the ball. They're into Eagle territory at the 37. Wentz looking left, throws an incomplete. He was going back to Austri, but the coverage was good. Over there working against Jahiel Blue Smith. Nickelback for Mount San Jacinto. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Wentz brings the Lancers to the line. Fake to Kendall. Wentz on the keeper, breaks a tackle at the line, but now he is stood up by a slew of Eagle tacklers. Again, Ortiz leading the charge with a little help from Moody coming up from his safety spot. They limit Wentz to a 1-yard gain. Good read by the Eagles defensively. Once again, the Lancers try the misdirection as they fake the sweep to Kendall. 3rd and long. For Pasadena, talked about the good numbers, 42% coming in, converting on 3rd downs, but this, a 3rd and long, presenting more of a challenge. Again, movement on the line. This might be a free play again for Wentz, who will air it out on the far side, and a juggling catch near the goal line, and a touchdown! Justin Campbell. Campbell working against Jahiel Blue Smith again, and Smith had great coverage, but Campbell, he just goes in and he wants this ball. Let's take a look at the replay again. And look at Campbell just go after that football. Smith is right there. Well, it's deja vu all over again. As again, Wentz does a great job getting the Eagles to jump, knows he's got a free play, and takes a shot downfield, and the Lancers make the most of it. What a start for Pasadena City College. 3:10 to go in the first quarter, and it's the Lancers who have jumped out to a 14-0 lead here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. It's 14. Another big play for the Lancers here in the first quarter, as Wentz finds Justin Campbell. For Campbell, it's his 3rd touchdown reception of the season, and Wentz now up to 14 TD passes on the season with a couple here in the first quarter. Short kick taken by the up back at the 27-yard line and out to the 34. It looked like Talik Brown out there taking that kick. Eagles end up with solid field position to start at their own 34, but they've got to be a little shell-shocked here at this beginning. The Lancers have come out caution flammable on offense. The last drive was 96 yards, capped off by Wentz finding Campbell for another big play. And a 14-0 lead for the Lancers. And now we will see. I'm trying to get the number, but I believe that's Devin Friedland. Fake. Friedland screens it out, looking for Dorian Cole. And Cole, with a head of steam, out past the 42 to 43 before he heads out of bounds. 9-yard gain for Cole.
Quarterback on the play was number 7, Devin Friedland.
And Cole
22.
excels in the pass game primarily. He's a running back with just 5 carries on the season, but he does come in with 21 receptions, now 22, as he makes the catch there and turns it into 9 yards. So Cole and White both very dangerous coming out of the backfield. Toscas in motion for the Eagles on 2nd and 1. Now they'll send Cole in motion. White, little cut to the right, and he takes a big hit at the 41, but has enough for the first down. Lucio Rodriguez, the leading tackler on the team, was there for the stop. Rodriguez, along with Spence and Regosa, have all been Conference Player of the Week, and that's in the entire SCFA, Defensive Player of the Week, this season. So the Lancers with a lot of talent defensively as well this season. Quick completion out to the 47 as the Eagles move it into Lancer territory. Caden Chambers
Completed pass by number 7, Devin Friedland to number 19, Caden Chambers.
with his first reception tonight. Sets up a 2nd down and 3.
Tackled by the Lancers number 20.
Eagles looking to answer back. They had a long drive on their first drive, but they stalled out at the 4 as they turned it over on downs. Friedland out in the flat, completes. First down yardage out to the 42.
Friedland's pass completed to number 6, Javier Luna.
Javier Luna coming out of the backfield to make the reception. Gets to the 40. O'Day eventually forces him out of bounds, but the Eagles move the chains. 1:05 as the clock continues to move, remaining here in the first quarter. Slightly cool evening here in Pasadena, but perfect football weather. Bunch formation on the near side. Quick pitch on the jet sweep. Big play for the Eagles. First down and more. Inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line. Talik Brown gets the carry, and he turns on the Jets. No questioning the speed of Talik Brown. Rodriguez with the tackle for Pasadena City. But another first down after the 14-yard run for Brown. Now they'll stack up Shelton and Brown to the near side. 1st and 10 from the 26. Brown again in motion. Friedland sets up in the pocket. Good protection. Guns it into the end zone. Incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, David Vanderberg. 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. And again, they will overload the near side. Sherrod White in the backfield with Devin Friedland. They fake to White. Cole in the flat. Hit hard near the 20, but falls forward to about the 19, where he's about a yard shy of the first down marker. Cole lost his helmet, but retrieves, and he will head to the sideline as the Eagles will face a 3rd and 1 when we come back to start the second quarter. It's SCFA football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. 3rd down and 2 for the Eagles. Football resting on the Lancer 18-yard line. Now whistles before the snap. And Pasadena going to take a timeout. Well, coming out of the break at the end of the first quarter. Don't imagine that's when they were anxious to use a timeout. Nonetheless, it is their first charge timeout here to start the second quarter as the Eagles are looking at a 3rd and 2. Well, in the first quarter, Sherrod White had 3 carries for just 10 yards. So for the Lancers, that is certainly mission accomplished. Talking about this matchup and making the point that the Lancers, first and foremost, when working against such a potent offense, you got to stop the run. And if you can do that, you at least make the Eagles a little bit more one-dimensional. And so far, just 11 yards on the ground for Mount San Jacinto in the first quarter. This is a team that put 7 rushing touchdowns on the board in the victory against Compton last week. Granted, that's Compton, a program that has struggled mightily this year versus the Lancers, but make no mistake, the rushing numbers are there on the season. Vandenberg in motion. Now they're going to swing it out. Looking to throw. McGee has a man wide open. Touchdown, Shelton for the Eagles. Mount San Jacinto on the board as they go to a little trickery. Well executed. McGee rolls out behind the line. We're going to show you the replay, but no question about it. And Shelton slips away, and he is wide open. And all McGee has to do here is just not overthrow him. And he didn't. This throw is right there. McGee finds him. You see Spence trying to get back, but no way he's going to get back there. Shelton gets free. The Eagles are on the board. Whistles before the snap.
False start, 79 of the offense, 5 yard.
Eagles going to back up 5 yards.
Attempting the extra point.
Shelton, the leading receiver for the Eagles on the season, coming in with 33 receptions and 7 touchdowns, make it 8. In a quiet game last week in the victory over Compton, just 1 catch, but the Eagles were having so much success running the ball, they really didn't need to go to the air too much. In fact, 3 quarterbacks were just a combined 16 for 20 passing the ball last week as the Eagles ran away. The extra point no good, wide left, and the score remains 14-6. And we'll wait and see if that point ends up becoming a factor later in this one. It's one of those things where somehow those missed extra points do end up becoming a factor later in games. Long way to go, though. 14:53 remaining here in the first half as the Eagles find pay dirt on the first play of the second quarter. Halfback option, and McGee goes to Shelton for the touchdown. Let's give you another look here as the teams take the field for the kickoff. And it's just well executed. And McGee takes his time, and Rashad Shelton all alone in the end zone. Friedland and Coleman had combined for 27 touchdown passes, but now McGee gets into the book with a touchdown pass. Ready to go with the Lancers leading at 14-6. End over end kick taken by Campbell at the 9. Now to the 15, makes a move at the 18. Splits a couple of defenders and finally pulled down at the 22. 13-yard return for Campbell. And the Lancers will start their third drive from there. And Pasadena, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns so far. Cade Wentz, 3 of 4 for 83 yards and a couple of touchdowns here in the early going. But the running of Miles Anderson has been a key for Pasadena. 7 carries for 37 yards here in the first half. And again, you talk about Anderson, he's the leading tailback for Pasadena, yes, but he's the third leading rusher for this team. It's Wentz and Norton, generally speaking. Kindle in motion. Anderson runs into his own man behind the line. He is brought down at the 22, a loss of a yard. Josh Hilton again getting into the backfield quickly. That time Jeremiah Wilson also there. And Jeremiah Wilson, Michael Aram, mentioned by Casey Mazzotta, a couple of guys on the defensive line returning from the 2019 team. Overall, Mount San Jacinto has a number of players returning from the 2019 team, and it's really served them well. A lot of experience for this Eagle team, and they have had a big, big year. Again, 7-1 with the one loss being a forfeit. So they haven't lost on the field yet this year. And they are trying to close it out here as Wentz fakes and keeps out past the 30 where he takes a big hit. At the 31-yard line, that's a gain of about 9, and it brings up a 3rd down and 2. Meanwhile, we do have a player down. I want to say it was the Eagle player that delivered the hit. I don't have a number yet, but we'll show you the replay here. This is a big collision. Good fake. See a good block there, and brought down a couple of yards shy of the first down marker. And that was Kamari Ross, who was coming up to make the stop. And I can't see just yet if that is Ross that is down right now. But Kamari Ross, starting cornerback for the Eagles and one of the premier cover guys for Mount San Jacinto this season. A lockdown cover guy for this Eagle secondary. And right now, that's a player that you can ill afford to lose. Let's take a brief injury timeout here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. It's Pasadena City College football. It's a 3rd down and 2 for Pasadena. And again, still can't tell from this angle. Trying to get it is Kamari Ross, and he is up and on his feet. That's always encouraging, and he will get a little help. Looks to be favoring that right side. They will help him to the sideline, and the Lancers will come back out to face this 3rd and 2. And the Eagles with a measure of momentum here after the touchdown on their previous drive, and they would love to get a quick 3 and out and get the football back, get it back to their offense. So Wentz with Anderson in the deep eye on a 3rd and 2. For the talk of the Eagles running the football and how good they've been, Pasadena has been very successful themselves as a team, averaging 4.6 yards a carry. Wentz with a little move in the backfield. He's got the first down before he is stood up and pushed back by Demond Young, but not before Wentz finds a little lane, gets it out to the 35. Big 3rd down conversion for Pasadena. Watch the little move by Wentz right there, getting away from Wilson before Young lowers the boom, but the Lancers move the chains. 4-yard run for Wentz. Fresh set of downs for the Lancers. 1st and 10 from their own 35. 13-12 and counting remaining in the first half. Receivers left and right for Wentz. Kindle in motion. They go to Kindle on the jet sweep. Makes a little move at the 40, out past the 45 before he is run out of bounds. Let's see, that looked like a pretty late hit on the far side. I haven't seen a flag yet, but boy, that was well out of bounds from Kindle. Looked like Moody running him out of bounds. Let's watch the replay here. Getting a lot of running room. Well, worse news for the Lancers, I should say. Not only was there not a late hit call, but the penalty went against Pasadena. It's a holding call. So that'll be a spot foul. They'll bring it back to the 34. So a lot of that yardage picked up by Kindle will come back via the penalty. And it will end up being a 1st and 11 after the holding call from the Pasadena 34. Read option. And Wentz with good running room straight ahead again out to the 44-yard line. Another solid gain. You know, Casey Mazzota talked about preparing for Pasadena and said this is one of the most disciplined, well-coached teams that we have seen this season. And they run an offense that we have not seen a lot this year. A lot of triple option with the quarterback doing a lot of the running. And they spent all week practicing against a lot of plays that they haven't seen regularly this year. And Casey Mazzota was very frank and said, listen, it's going to come down to how well we defend that, how prepared we are, how much success we have. And Wentz completing on the far side to the 47-yard line. As he finds Jeremiah Hartfield. Hartfield enough for the first down on the 2nd and short after the Wentz run. So Pasadena keeps the drive going. The Eagles came in on a roll, but this is a tough assignment coming on to take on Pasadena, I should say, here at Pasadena, where the Lancers haven't lost all year. Delayed handoff, good running room for Anderson. He's into the secondary, down inside the 35, still churning his legs. He gets down to the 28-yard line. That's a run of 19 yards. And Miles Anderson continues to chalk up the yardage. See Moody coming in there late, but the hit he delivers there really drives Anderson forward. Hilton and Ortiz eventually able to bring Anderson down. They'll give him credit for 20 yards. On the run, another Pasadena first down. "56 yards now for Anderson here in the first half. Wentz pitches it back. And a gain of about 4. As he pitches it to Ivan Ostry. Talked about Ostry and Hartfield both being utilized in the run game. We've also seen Jabari Kendall with a good run in this first half. So the Lancers doing a good job spreading it around. A 4-yard run for Ostry on the quick pitch. I suppose that might have gone down as a shovel pass. Seeing the stats, that might have actually technically been a pass. Wentz rolling away from pressure, still looking, and he will head out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Let's see where they spot it on the far side. Looks like the 19. That's a 4-yard run and a big 3rd and 2 coming up for the Lancers. Call it 3rd and 1 as they'll spot it at the 18. So a 5-yard run for Wentz.
3rd and 1 for the Lancers.
Last week for Pasadena in the win at Victor Valley, Wentz was sacked 5 times in the game. And so far, the protection's been good. No sacks for the Eagles. And a couple of touchdown passes. Good push again on the left side and a first down for the Lancers. Ari Collins on the stop, but not before Anderson is able to run it down to the 14. First down, Lancers. And they have it at the Eagle 14. They're back in the red zone. Lancers on the season. Just under 60% scoring in the red zone. 42% touchdowns, relatively middle of the pack numbers. First trip into the red zone tonight, both touchdowns have come via the big play. Jet sweep again inside the 10 and another big hit down inside the 5 at the 4. That was Jeremiah Hartfield on the carry again. And he is near another first down. It's going to come down to the spot. They'll spot it at the 5, call it second and a short 2. With Wentz, with Anderson to his right. Kindle in motion. The give to Kindle, running right, cuts it back, down near the goal line, still working. He's in for the touchdown. Jabari Kindle. Good hard run as he cuts it back. He's a couple of yards short of the goal line when contact is made. But he gets a couple of yards after contact and gets himself into the end zone for another Lancer touchdown. 7:44 to go here in the first half. And Pasadena, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Extra point is up and good. 21-6 Pasadena with the lead here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Watching that replay, see that it's Kindle battling against Daryl Moody, who is the leading tackler for Mount San Jacinto this season. But watch as Moody tries to go high, but Kindle, just good hard running. And he drags Moody the last couple of yards and into the end zone. And that's a little bit of a microcosm of the game right there. Go back to the play by Campbell going out and just going up and getting that 50-50 ball for the second Lancer touchdown. And the Lancers have come out here with an awful lot of determination. And right now, they are just being more physical than a very physical Mount San Jacinto team. And we'll see if the Eagles can make an adjustment as the kick is taken short at the 28. And that's where the Eagles will start. But right now, the Eagles a little back on their heels as the Lancers on both sides of the ball have come out and been very physical here in this first half, starting with a good running game. Midway through the second quarter, 7:44 to go. And Pasadena, again, if they can win here, they finish conference play in a 3-way tie atop the Mountain Division. Good running room for Sherrod White, twisting his way out past the 42, the 43-yard line before Spence can finally bring him down. 14-yard run for Sherrod White. It's a welcome sight for the Eagles. White's had a quiet night so far. That's just his 4th carry. In part because the Lancers have been so effective keeping the ball. And talk about the yardage after contact for Kindle on the touchdown. And there White gets about a good 5 yards after Spence hits him. Two wide receivers to the left. Coleman back on at quarterback for the Eagles with White in the backfield. And they fake it to White, and it's Coleman with a little lane out near the first down marker to the 47-yard line, and it looks like he has enough. they're starting to move the chains. Boy, by the spot, it looked like he didn't quite get there. So I think they're going to back it up. No, that's close. We got a great angle on it. 2nd inches. A lot of options for the Eagles here. On a 2nd and short.
Officially 9 yards on the carry. 2nd and 1.
So there you see it, about a half yard to go after the 9-yard run for Coleman. Here come the Lancers. Quick throw, complete, 1st down yardage. Toskis with the reception, getting it down to the 34-yard line. See the Lancers coming with the blitz, but a good read by Coleman and completes to Toskis. 1st down for the Eagles. They are quickly to the Pasadena 34-yard line, trying to get back within a score. Quick pitch, running to the near side, back to Talik Brown, and a good job by the Lancers really stringing that out. Kia Rodriguez coming up from his safety spot to knock Brown out of bounds after a run of 3 yards. Rodriguez coming off a big performance a week ago. He had a couple of big pass breakups in the 4th quarter to preserve a 3-point win at Victor Valley for Pasadena. And you think about the results so far tonight, and if Pasadena can make this stand up, how big does that win become? And Pasadena may be able to forge a 3-way tie for the championship here in the Mountain Division. Cole in motion. Coleman on the scramble, around the edge, finds a little running room. He's inside the 25. That's a great job by Robert Coleman to get to the 23-yard line. It's an 8-yard run before Rodriguez runs him out of bounds. And I'm not entirely sure. That might have been a quarterback draw. It almost looked like a broken play, but Coleman with a good read, able to bounce it outside and pick up 8 yards to bring up, well, to give the Eagles a 1st down. 1st and 10 from the Pasadena 23. Quick throw again from Coleman on the far side. Looking for Chambers this time and finding him for a gain of about 5. Caden Chambers with his 2nd catch tonight. Chambers with a reputation for the Eagles as a clutch guy, clutch receiver. So the thing about Caden Chambers, 3rd leading receiver on the team, but constantly seems to come up with big catches when the Eagles need him. Straight drop for Coleman, pop flies, going back to Chambers, and he just overshoots his target. Spence had the coverage. Brings up a 3rd down and 5. Interesting watching that play again as you see Spence coming over there. But that's Mark Anderson, outside linebacker Mark Anderson in coverage on Chambers. That's a tough assignment for your outside linebacker. But Anderson getting back there and stay with Chambers. 3rd down and 5. Coleman fakes, now has all kinds of running room at the 10, at the 5. He will head in for an Eagle touchdown. For Mount San Jacinto, Avante Robbs, Don Rodriguez, Nick Gomez in the interior of that line, and they opened up a big hole for Coleman. And once he got to the secondary, the Eagles had really overloaded the right side, and there was no chance they were going to catch him. See what the Eagles think about going for 2 here. Already a missed extra point, so it's 21-12 with 3:52 to go in the 1st half. And they are going to go for 2. I wouldn't be surprised if they went for 2 for the rest of the night, but we'll see how that works out. Full house backfield, and whistles come in, and the Eagles are going to take a timeout. So first charge timeout for Mount San Jacinto, 3:52 to go in the 1st half. 21-12, Pasadena on top. It's Pasadena City College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. White, or I should say McGee on the carry, and he will walk it in. It's a good push up front, not a whole lot of resistance. And an easy conversion for Jalen McGee. Interesting night so far for McGee, a touchdown pass. Now a 2-point conversion on the ground. 21-14, back to a 7-point game with 3:52 remaining in the first half.
Lancers 21, Mount Jacinto 14.
Well, 6 possessions tonight between the two teams, 5 touchdowns. And the one drive that did not end in a touchdown was an Eagle drive that ended at the Pasadena 4-yard line. So I got a feeling we're going to see a couple of big numbers here. This might be one of these, which team has the ball last, late in the fourth quarter, but I'm not sure there's going to be any slowing down these two offenses. We might be in for a few more touchdowns before it's all said and done.
Kicking off for the Eagles, number 53, Nick Sevilla. Set to return for the Lancers, number 4.
Of course, those that have watched Pasadena City College football all season long, it's something of a bend but don't break defense. Talked about a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball, and often a defense that has been able to improve as the game has gone on. Back to Campbell from the 15. So already a fascinating matchup. Campbell bounces off a tackle at the 25. He's out past the 35, 45, near midfield. Good return for Justin Campbell, who's already got a touchdown catch tonight. And now a big return of 35 yards will get it out to midfield, and it's going to be a short field for Pasadena. This is just a great return by Campbell, who does have a kick return for a touchdown this season. 89-yarder earlier in the year, averaging a little over 27 yards a return. But that's as good a return as you're going to see. Gets it out to midfield. Anderson on the left side, and he runs into a wall. Did manage to fall forward for a yard. Hilton there for the tackle. And that's not far from our perch here, and you could hear the collision up here. So this has been a physical game on both sides. Talked about Pasadena has come out and really brought the physical play for their part on a couple of key plays to take this 7-point lead, but don't kid yourself. The Eagles are delivering some hits out there as well. 2nd down and 9. Anderson will line up to the right of Wentz. Receivers left and right. Quick pitch. Running right. Moody flying up from his safety spot. No gain on the play. Kenneth Russell on the shovel pass, but this is all about Daryl Moody. And Moody comes up, brings him down, and now it's 3rd and long for Pasadena. It'll be 3rd and 9 from the Mount San Jacinto 49-yard line. Late in the first half, and this could be something of a momentum change here after the good field position to start. If it's the Eagles now that could force a quick 3 and out after Pasadena got good field position. Might swing the momentum even more back in their direction. They're coming off a touchdown. Pasadena will call a timeout. They want to talk it over. Second charge timeout, 2:02 to go in the first half. Pasadena on top of Mount San Jacinto, 21-14 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Down at 9 from the 49-yard line of Mount San Jacinto. For the Lancers, Wentz will come out. Campbell wide to the left. Wheeler-Smith solo to the right. Kindle in motion. Eagles coming on the blitz. Wentz with a deep drop, wants to set up the screen, and now just has to throw it away. Hunter Rapola coming on the blitz, and it was a jailbreak for Mount San Jacinto. And see Wentz trying to set up the screen, but eventually nowhere to go with the ball, and he wisely throws it away. But the Eagles forced the quick 3 and out. 1:55 to go. Mount San Jacinto still with 2 timeouts, and they'll get it back, looking for the tie potentially. Now Mount San Jacinto wants to take a timeout. So that'll be their second charge timeout. We'll step aside. Pasadena on top by 7. It's PCC football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Whenever you're ready. Dorian Cole back to receive the kick inside his 15-yard line. First punt for either team tonight. And it's Cade Wentz back in punt formation, and that's not in a completely unfamiliar sight. Both Wentz and Edward Norton, the other quarterback who has seen significant time for Pasadena, have also seen a significant portion of the punting duties. And Wentz able to get this one away. Fair catch made by Cole back at the 19-yard line. Well, they'll spot it at the 20. So a 29-yard kick for Cade Wentz. And the Eagles, with 1:47 remaining in the first half, go back on offense, trailing by 7. Friedland back in at quarterback, so it appears, at least for the time being, that it's every other drive. Coleman, then Friedland. A throw on the far side looking for Shelton, and a great catch by Rashad Shelton. Eagles want to hurry. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. It's a 21-yard gain as Friedland squeezes it in, I should say, to Rashad Shelton. Second catch for Shelton. Lancers coming on the blitz. Friedland in trouble and just throws this one away. He was looking for Sherrod White in the flat. Bring you back live. Jalen McGee checking in for Mount San Jacinto. 1:29 to go. Each team with 1 timeout remaining here in the first half. Eagles will get the ball to start the second half. They won the toss and deferred. Friedland stepping away from pressure, over the middle, and the pass tipped Nearly intercepted. What's the call? It looks like it is intercepted. Ragosa able to make the shoestring interception, and that will end the Eagle drive as Friedland just overshoots his target. And that's a great job by Ragosa, playing center field, and he lays out. The pass was intended for Javier Luna, but Friedland overshooting Luna. Ragosa with the interception. First turnover tonight for either team. Pasadena coming in +2 turnover differential on the season. Meanwhile, Mount San Jacinto had been tremendous taking care of the football all season long. As a team, they had just 8 turnovers combined in their 8 games. So that's their 9th. Wentz just going to dump this one short. It's incomplete. He wanted to go deep, but the coverage was good. Looked like Hartfield is where he wanted to go downfield. That's a good job by the Eagles in the secondary. Meanwhile, they're going to pick up the flag. This might have looked like intentional grounding, but Wentz outside the tackle box, and therefore they'll pick up the flag. 2nd down and 10. So the Eagles, who turned it over on their previous drive, had been +9, as they had scarcely turned over the ball this season. Just 8 combined, but they turn it over on that drive. Meanwhile, pass completed for a 1st down. Ivan Ostry with the reception out toward midfield. They'll spot it at the Pasadena 49, where it'll be 1st and 10, 1:06 remaining. Pasadena with 1 timeout. Christian Contreras, the kicker for Pasadena, 4 of 7 on the season with a long of 25 yards. So Pasadena with some work still to do if they want to get into field goal range, you would believe. From the 49, Wentz, deep drop, good protection, throws over the middle, catch is made down near the 20. Jeremiah Hartfield working over the middle, and he makes the catch. Another good deep throw, but it's all coming back. Flag down and a holding call against Pasadena. That's a killer if you're the Lancers, as Hartfield sees the 30-yard reception erased. That had Pasadena down near 1st down, or I should say field goal range. But instead they'll come all the way back to the 39, where it'll be 1st and 20, still with 59 seconds remaining. I started to make the point that was another good deep throw from Cade Wentz. Saw him hit Wheeler Smith for a touchdown, and then Campbell on another long touchdown in the 1st quarter. Straight drop for Wentz. Again, airing it out on the far side. Some contact. So far, no flags. Smith wants a call. He's not going to get it. The coverage was good, but there was some contact at the tail end of that play. Let's take one more look at this one. And again, the Eagles dial up the blitz, but Wentz with good protection. Once again, that's going back to the completion to Hartfield. And we'll bring you back to live action on a 2nd and 20. Down to 37 seconds. Jahail Blue Smith had the coverage on Wheeler Smith on that last throw. Again, the Eagles come on the blitz, and Wentz going to take another shot downfield looking for Campbell, and the flag does come in. Campbell tried to make a move to get back to that ball. It was Joseph Lucky on the coverage. And watch here as Campbell, I don't know if we'll get this in the frame or not, but Campbell tries to cut inside to get that ball from Wentz, and there was a little bit of contact, and I think that's what drew the flag. As Campbell was impeded to really make a move to get that football. So the Lancers will get 15 yards to the Mount San Jacinto 46-yard line. 1st and 10. But the key number here is 29 seconds remaining. Wentz again rolls away from pressure. He's going to run, makes a move at the 40, 35, 30, inside the 30 before Ortiz brings him down at the 29. 17-yard run for Cade Wentz. And again, Pasadena still has one timeout, but they're going to move quickly, get to the line, and Wentz will spike it. 14 seconds remaining for Pasadena. But again, they still have one timeout, so they can really go anywhere on the field for this play. Well, this has been an aggressive first half for Pasadena. They've taken 6, 7, 8 shots downfield in this first half. And sometimes in our coverage, we'll see a team go half and never take a shot downfield. Snap to Wentz. Under pressure, he's going to be sacked. Back at the 44. That's a huge play for the Eagles. Hilton getting into the backfield. They'll spot it at the 40. Pasadena has to take a timeout. Let's watch again here. The Eagles have been steady on the blitz. I misspoke before. I said it was Hilton who had got in there, but that was actually Gonzalez who was able to make a good move inside and work his way free, and Wentz could not get away. And that is a big, big play for Mount San Jacinto, as it takes it down to 6 seconds. It takes Pasadena out of anything that could be considered field goal range. From here, it would be a 57-yard attempt, and it makes the Lancers use their final timeout. And there you see Gonzalez. Pretty much a straight shot to Wentz. Might have been some miscommunication on that offensive line for the Lancers, as it looks like on the right side. Edward Aranda, John Lopez, and meanwhile, we'll take you back live. Wentz going to roll out, air it out into the end zone, up in the air, and incomplete. Boy, coming in there late, that looked like Smith, and he almost got there as that one hung in the air. Let's take one more look here on the what will be the final play of the first half. Pasadena going to take a 21-14 lead into halftime. See if we get this one more time, but watch Smith flying here as that one hangs up in the air, and boy, he was close. Almost had that one, and something would have seemed fitting about that, the way this first half has gone. We've seen some crazy plays downfield. Almost had one more. Halftime from Pasadena, and the Lancers on top of the Eagles 21-14 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Start of the second half from Pasadena City College with the Lancers leading at 21-14 over Mount San Jacinto. Again, the Eagles looking to wrap up the Mountain Division Championship here in the American Conference. Of course, those that follow the conference might be aware it's a strange season. That's not exactly a headline, but both of these teams have games tentatively scheduled for next week, as in the season's still going on next week, so it's TBA for all the teams in the Mountain Division. But with the completion of these games, Pasadena, Mount San Jacinto, Grossmont at the top of the division standings, they will have all completed all their games in conference play. So there will be a meeting on Monday, and a decision will be made about what to do in terms of next Saturday for all these teams. But a lot still up in the air. The hope was that all of the teams would be able to play 10 games this season. Both Pasadena and Mount San Jacinto will have 9 games completed after the completion of the game tonight. So the hope is that they can play another game, each of those teams, but they will have played everybody else in the division already. So we'll see what happens on Monday. But a strange season continues, and perhaps for these teams, there will be more football to be played in the regular season. We'll see what happens next week. Coleman slides down as O'Day delivers the hit after a gain of 3. The kick to start the second half was out of bounds, so the Eagles go to work from their own 35. Coleman gets to the 38, where it'll be a second down and 7. Well, the two teams combined for 5 touchdowns in their first 6 possessions. But as the second quarter wore on, the defenses on both sides started to warm to the task. And the offenses have slowed somewhat. So we'll see what happens here in the second half. Should be interesting. Coleman on a designed roll. Now going to tuck it and run and get out past the 45 to the 46-yard line, where he is brought down by Jordan Young. They'll spot it at the 47. That will be good enough to get the Eagles a first down. Excuse me, that was Jordan Monroe. I believe I said Jordan Young. Just a misspeak. So Monroe on the stop. Monroe along with Anderson, the outside linebackers in this 3-4 unit for Pasadena, and Coach Tucker talking about how impressed he has been with his linebacker core overall. The inside linebackers, Rodriguez and McGee, really lead this unit, but he said that Anderson and Monroe have really come on. They get better every week, and that has really solidified this defense. Short gain on first down. White, in fact, he got back to the line, and that's about it. Might have even lost a yard. Call it second down and 11 for Mount San Jacinto, starting this third quarter. 13-14 as the clock moves. Happy you've joined us here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. SCFA football in the American Conference. Straight drop, wide open. Brown with another catch. Turns on the Jets. He's inside the 35 and forced out of bounds at the 32. Boy, Talik Brown is fast. That comes across right away. Get you back here, and Brown now with 4 catches in the game, up at 80 yards. Receiving in the game, 86 yards to be precise for Brown after that 22-yard reception. But I'm talking about Rashad Shelton, and as the number 1 receiver for this team, the leading receiver in terms of catches and touchdowns. But boy, you really got to be aware of where Talik Brown is at all times. Bunch formation, Brown on the quick pitch, running right, and he is stood up after a short gain on the play. Rodriguez able to wrap him up and force him back. That was a gain of just a yard for Brown. Second down and 9. Just a quick pitch, and boy, Rodriguez moving up. That takes you back to a play in the second quarter by safety Daryl Moody for Mount San Jacinto, and that's just a good read against a pretty fast guy in Talik Brown. Nice play from Kia Rodriguez. Second down and 9 for the Eagles. Trying to make it 8 straight. And you got to believe in the 3-division American Conference that if the Eagles can get a win here, they will be 8-1 with their lone loss being by a forfeit. Top 2 teams by RPI will take part in the American Conference Championship. And you can't be certain on these types of things, but if the Eagles can get the win here, it's pretty hard to believe that they won't have punched their ticket. They were a bowl game back in 2019, losing to Allen Hancock in the Western State Bowl. But this is a team that's been building under head coach Casey Mazzota, and they are looking to take the next step. But they got to get by the Lancers first. If they lose this one, it'll come down to RPI in a 3-team race, but it gets a little more complicated for all of these teams if the Lancers can pull off the win here. Only 4 spots in the postseason in the American Conference. There's the championship, and then there's the Western State Bowl. So it is not easy to get to postseason play in the American Conference. So a lot on the line here for both of these teams. 2nd down and 9. Snap to Coleman. Fake to White. Coleman stepping up in some trouble. He's going to be hit and sacked. Back at the 35. That was Ramirez. Carlos Ramirez, and he just keeps working. See him there from his defensive end spot as the pocket starts to collapse on Coleman. So the Lancers come up with a big sack, and they force a 3rd and very long, 3rd and 12. The Eagles have been good on 3rd down tonight. In short work, they're 2 of 3 on 3rd down tonight. But they face a 3rd and 12 here as the Lancers are getting into it from the sideline. Good protection. Coleman throws. Catch is made inside the 5, down to the 1. Rashad Shelton making the catch. And this is a bullet from Coleman. Talked about Coleman and Friedland both having good arms, as Shelton running the skinny post and gets free. It'll take it down to the 2-yard line. Working against the coverage of Ozzie Reynoso. 1st and goal from the 2. White straight ahead, and he is hit at the line. No gain on the play. 2nd down and goal coming up. Started to say before that it looked like Shelton was working against Ozzie Ragosa, and that's a tough assignment for Ragosa, the safety, to stay with Shelton, and he got himself free by about a yard or 2 as Coleman delivered the strike. 2nd and goal now from the 2. Coleman on the draw, hit at the 1, keeps working down near the goal line. No signal yet. Eagles think they've gotten in, but still no signal, and it looks like he is just short. It's a design draw for Coleman. Little fake, and boy, that is a great hit. Monroe again coming up, and it looked like with the momentum that Coleman had when he was hit by Monroe at the 1 that he was going to be able to fall forward and get in. But Monroe working just as hard, able to keep him out of the end zone. It's now 3rd and goal from the 1-foot line. And Coleman will work from under center on the sneak. Near the goal line, still no signal. Again, the Eagles saying they got in, but now this is going to be 4th down. Let's look one more time here. And a good push, and Coleman working, and that ball looks like it's even a little bit closer to the goal line. It is truly now 4th and goal from just inches away. And they'll go back to the pistol. Now Coleman will come up. Coleman again trying, and that was a good push. I don't think he got in. There are flags down. But that was a big-time push up front. I don't think there's any question, but Coleman didn't make it. Let's see what the flags are. What a job on the interior of that defensive line by Pasadena City College, and it will be the second time, if the flags are not against Pasadena, that they will have turned away the Eagles inside the 5, but no. The offsides call is against Pasadena, so it will remain 4th down, and this penalty will be for roughly, I'd say, about 3 or 4 inches, as half the distance should cover that amount of distance. But of considerably more importance is that it remains 4th down and the Eagles maintain possession so they can try again. No question but that they're going to go for it here. Does Casey Mazzota and his staff, do they think about changing up? 2 sneaks in a row have not worked. And the Eagles are going to burn a timeout. 7:53 to go in the 3rd quarter. Pasadena leading at 21-14, but the Eagles are on the doorstep. You are watching Pasadena City College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Fourth and goal from inches away. Eagles looking for the tie. They come out with White and McGee flanking Coleman. Here we go. White in motion. Coleman running left on the keeper. He's in trouble. Back near the 5. The Lancers are going to make another big stand. What a job by Pasadena City College. 2 times now, the Eagles have been able to get down inside the Lancer 5. And 2 times tonight, they have come away with no points. They're just going to try to run Coleman on a sweep. And Rodriguez in the backfield quickly stringing that play out. And then Ragosa. Along with Rodriguez, stringing it out. No chance for Coleman. Ends up being a loss back to the 5. And Pasadena will go on offense, still leading at 21-14. What a massive play in this football game. Anderson gets the carry out to the 10. And with that carry by Anderson, that is a new season high. Rushing yards for Miles Anderson. He's up to 66 yards on the ground in the game. Aram with the stop for the Eagles. Well, that was a time-consuming drive for the Eagles, taking up about half of the 3rd quarter. But they get down inside the 1, but can't finish it off. And Pasadena maintains the 7-point lead. Anderson in the deep eye. They fake to Anderson. Wentz going to keep it himself. Rapola wrapping him up. A loss of a yard on the play. And a 3rd down and 6 for Pasadena. And a big 3rd down for Pasadena here after the defense was on the field for over 7 minutes on the previous drive. The Lancers would love to convert, and if nothing else, take a little time off the clock, give their defense a chance to rest. But it's a 3rd and 6. Pasadena 5 of 7 on 3rd down tonight. Receivers left and right for Wentz. Eagles showing blitz. Now they drop off. Wentz Steps up, fires over the middle, incomplete, nearly intercepted. Moody had a chance at it. Looking for Jeremiah Hartfield, but this time it was Wentz who was too high with his pass. Saw that in the first half, and Lancers picking up an interception by Ragosa on a high throw, and Pasadena nearly returned the favor. Nonetheless, it's a quick 3 and out, so mission accomplished for the Eagles, who should get it back with good field position. End-over-end kick sent out of bounds near the 35. This is going to be very good field position for the Eagles. They'll spot it at the 31. That's a kick of just 22 yards. And the Eagles can go right back on the attack here. They trail it by 7 with 6:08 to go in the third quarter. Well, we saw Coleman on that previous drive. Will we see Devin Friedland? Eagles have been successful throwing the ball, 16 of 22 combined for 229 yards and a touchdown. Throwing in the touchdown pass by Jalen McGee back in the first half as Friedland has returned. But Pasadena has been solid stopping the run for Mount San Jacinto, and that has allowed them to limit them to 14 points. Again, this is a Mount San Jacinto team coming off 5 straight games in which they've scored 50 or more points on the season. Mount San Jacinto averaging 6.7 yards per carry as a team. A little trouble on the snap. White cutting it back, finds a little running room. He's at the 30, makes another move there. He's at the 25, inside the 20, moving the pile down to the 16. That's a 20-yard run for Sherrod White.
The carry by number 9, Sherrod White. Tackles on the play by number 32, Jordan Monroe.
Just the 6th carry tonight for White. Now for 43 yards.
First down for the Eagles.
As he gets it down to the 16. And the Eagles back in the red zone, which has been nothing short of a house of horrors for them so far tonight. 2 drives inside the 5 with no points. Friedland at the controls. Lancers showing blitz. Designed roll. Sideline pass complete to Shelton. Down to the 13. A gain of 3. Will bring up a 2nd down and 7. Clock continues to move. 5 minutes remaining in the third. And a 2nd down and 7. Toscas and Shelton to the left. Eagles working from left to right here in the third quarter. Good lane for White, dragging tacklers in for the touchdown. Sherrod White from 16 yards out. And he's hit it about the 5. But you see the strength in addition to the speed of Sherrod White. And let's watch on the right side. And that is a great push as he works against Spence. But give a lot of credit to Nick Gomez, Ben Hurst on the right side. And they opened up a big hole for Sherrod White, who takes it in for his 13th rushing touchdown of the season. The extra point is wide left. So Pasadena will maintain the lead at 21-20. Second missed extra point tonight for Mount San Jacinto, and for a team that has had such enormous success, particularly offensively, all season long, the kicking game has been a problem for the Eagles, and a couple of missed extra points tonight. And now late in the third, 4:33 to go. They're still down a point, but a lot of time. 21-20, Pasadena with the lead. But this shapes up to be a game that could very easily go down to the wire. And 1 or 2 points could easily spell the difference. Lancers will come out. And they've still got the lead. Campbell, Kindle, retreating deep for Pasadena. They'll wait at the 10-yard line. Well, it's shaped up to be a good game on paper, and it's delivering. Late in the third, a one-point game. Campbell from the 6. Now to the 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And brought down at the 41. Good job blocking up front. As Campbell finds some running room. A return of 35 yards. And Pasadena will have very good field position to start at the 41. So here comes Cade Wentz and the Lancer offense. They'll come out with Miles Anderson in the pistol. Three wide receivers. Anderson breaks a tackle, but now wrapped up. No gain on the play. Well, Anderson tried to keep it alive. Ortiz eventually finished him off, but Anderson absorbs a hit right at the line that slows the momentum to a crawl. Yeah, that was Rapola. And Anderson managed to shake off Rapola, but couldn't get away from Ortiz. It ends up going down as a loss of a yard on the play. 2nd and 11. They send Kindle in motion. Quick pitch to Kindle on the right side. Another big hit after a gain of about 3. Moody coming up. Delivering the big hit on Kindle. And quickly, Pasadena faces another 3rd and long. This will be a 3rd down and 7 from the 44-yard line of Pasadena. And after the Lancers scored on their first 3 drives. Give a lot of credit to this Eagle defense. Talked about the possibility for adjustments on both sides. And the Eagles have gotten better and better defensively as this game has gone on. Wentz, deep drop, throws on the near side, completes the pass, finding Kindle. That is a big 3rd down conversion for Pasadena into Eagle territory at the 43. In fact, give Kindle the 42. So many big plays in a close game, and this is another big one. If the Eagles could get off the field here with another 3 and out, they'd have all kinds of momentum. And that is a big completion on 3rd and 7 by Wentz, finding Kindle to give the Lancers another set of downs. Another trick play happening with a throw by Austri and a completion for a 1st down. Going back to Jabari Kindle. Not a big surprise for those that have followed Pasadena City College football, as Austri was a high school quarterback. And they pitch here. And he's pretty comfortable delivering a strike, finding Kindle. 2nd straight catch for Jabari Kindle. Moves the chains again, a 16-yard gain. And Pasadena now has a 1st and 10 at the Eagle 28-yard line. They fake the sweep. Wentz on the keeper. Able to get back to the line. No gain on the play. Aram again on the stop. Collins also there, a 2nd down and 10. You get the feeling that the Eagles are really dedicated now to stopping the Lancers from running the ball. It's been a lot tougher sledding, getting something done on the ground for the Lancers, but they're still having a lot of success throwing the football. Wentz, meanwhile, on the keeper, has a little lane inside the 25. Again, Aram bringing down Wentz, but solid yardage for Wentz as he gets to the 21. The 7-yard run will bring up a 3rd down and 3. They'll spot it at the 22. So 3rd and a short 4. And another big 3rd down conversion for Pasadena, who is now 6 of 9 on 3rd down in the game. But this is another big one. Hartfield in motion. Wentz looking left, throws. And the pass incomplete. Threw it a little bit behind Russell. And Russell can't come up with it. And now it's 4th down and 4 and a decision for Coach Tucker. This is a pretty good throw. Tucker got both mitts on it, but couldn't bring it in. This would be a 39-yard field goal. And again, Christian Contreras, 4 of 7 on the season, but the long is just 25 yards. And it looks like the Pasadena offense is going to stay on the field on a 4th and 4. Meanwhile, the play clock is down to 12. So they've got to hurry. Wentz with Anderson to his right. Has the snap. Going to set to throw. 4-man rush. Complete. 1st down for Pasadena. Inside the 10, down to the 5. Jeremiah Hartfield on the crossing route. Good throw, good catch. 1st down, Pasadena. Wilson Lucky eventually gets Hartfield out of bounds. For Hartfield, just his 2nd catch tonight, but it's a big one on a 4th and 4. Gets it down to the 5-yard line, and now it's the Lancers that have it deep in Eagle territory, and we'll see how the Eagle defense responds after this timeout. It's the end of the 3rd quarter, 21-20 Pasadena on top of Mount San Jacinto here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Start of the 4th quarter and a 1st and goal for the Lancers from the Mount San Jacinto 5-yard line. Jumbo formation for the Lancers with Anderson in the deep eye. Wentz with the fake, designed roll, throws, completes, touchdown, Pasadena. He went back to Hartfield. Couple of big catches for Hartfield on the drive. The 2nd one good for 6. And this is a well-designed, well-executed play, a designed roll, and Hartfield working toward that near sideline. He was free and clear. 3rd touchdown pass tonight for Cade Wentz to his 3rd different target as he finds Hartfield. High snap, extra point, kick is up and good. 28-20, back to an 8-point lead for Pasadena with 14:56 to go in the ball game. For Hartfield, that's his 5th touchdown catch of the season, and he had been quiet before that drive, but a huge catch on a 4th down conversion. And then the Lancers call his number again. Let's give you one more look from the 5. And the play action sucks the defense in, and Hartfield a couple of yards clear. Still a one-score game. And you get the feeling the Eagles might be more comfortable trailing by 8. No decision to be made now. They get the touchdown, they'll be going for 2. But a long way to go, 14:51. Or I should say 14:56. Wentz now 146 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Missed most of practice this week. Short kick taken at the 30. And a little bit of running room out past the 40. This is going to be good field position as Toskis gets it to the 44-yard line, where the Eagles will take over as we are joined by Pasadena City College Athletic Director Tony Barbone. Yeah. And Bones, we're going to let you get settled in. No stranger to SoCalCollegeSports.com. Of course, you've been with us for our baseball coverage for so long, but always good to see you.
Good to see you, Jeff. Thank you for being here once again. It's always great to have you guys, and you do such a wonderful job, not only for us, but for the entire state.
Big gain for the Eagles. Gets it immediately into Pasadena territory as Sherrod White finds some running room on that far side. And, well, Bones, we talked a little bit about it before this game, about the import of this game. And a lot riding on the chance here for Pasadena under first-year coach Robert Tucker to, really make the move right to the top of this Mountain Division. If they can get the win here, hold on to this 8-point lead, they tie for the division championship, and that's got to be a good feeling.
Let's let this play, right?
Meanwhile, they keep it on the ground as they go back to Talik Brown on the sweep to the near side.
Yeah, Jeff, it's really inspiring to see what Coach Tucker and his staff has done. And our kids have been tremendous. They've acted totally professional the entire season. And opportunity to, play against a great team, coached by Casey Mazzota, and what they do at Mount San Jacinto. So this is a neat contest, and it's good to be back on the field here in 2021.
2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard run by Brown. Coleman back on at quarterback, and he completes the pass to Shelton for a 1st down to the 21. And Bones, I know you've been working as you always are in this one, but boy, this is what we've seen a lot in this game. The Eagles have been able to move the football, but the Lancers have been able to come up big in their own end of the field defensively, and so far that's been a big difference in this game.
Yeah, we've been able to make some critical stops inside the 20, and it's been vital to the situation that we're in right now.
Whistles before the snap, and the Eagles back themselves up here. And penalties really haven't been much of a storyline in this one for either team. Talked about the Eagles being one of the most penalized teams in the entire 3C2A. But so far tonight, not many penalties in this one, and this will be just a 5-yard penalty, but it does move it back to a 1st and 15. But
well, it just makes it such a more sound game. It's a compliment to coaching staffs to keep their kids on task, and a fairly and well-played game is what people wanted to see on SoCal College Sports.
McGee and White in the backfield. They fake to White, throw over the middle, incomplete. Looked like he wanted Toskis again on the quick slant. Now it's 2nd and 15, and this is where penalties really kill you. We talked about it's just a 5-yard penalty, but it's 1st and 15. Now you got an incompletion. Now you're talking about a 2nd and long, and a drive that had been going very smoothly suddenly starts to stall, and an opportunity here for Pasadena.
Well, anything that can impede the progress or the energy that you have on a series. Mount San Jacinto's done a good job, like you said, moving the football. And then PCC is stiffened up a little bit inside that 20. So those 5 yards could be critical.
2 wide receivers to the near side. Coleman with a straight drop, looking right, throws right, incomplete. He was looking for Chambers, but he misfired. And now it's 3rd and forever, and now a little bit of pushing and shoving after the play between Caden Spence and Chambers. But they'll go their separate ways, and we'll get ready for a 3rd and 15, and an opportunity here for Pasadena to stall this drive for Mount San Jacinto, and a decision perhaps for Casey Mazzotta, trailing by 8. Do you start talking about a 4-down territory here? The field goal attempt would be 43 yards from this spot right now. Coleman has the snap, deep drop, under pressure, still on his feet, now tripped up. Boy, he almost got away from that. Canales bringing the pressure with Loretto. Bones, how did he almost get out of this? I can't believe it.
It's called an athlete.
Yeah, right? Well, what would I know about that? But
neither would I.
Yeah,
neither would I, Jeff.
But Coleman just tripped up, and that makes it 4th down now and 20. And Casey Mazzotta is going to elect to roll the dice here from the 31 and go for it on a 4th and forever. Coleman pop flies the far side, looking for Chambers, or I should say Toscas, and it's incomplete. And another big stand from Pasadena in their own territory. We've seen 2 from inside the 5-yard line, and now this one from around their own 30. But, boy, you got to give an awful lot of credit to this Lancer defense as advertised. This is a defense they might bend a little bit, but they have a way of making big stops when they need them.
Well, so far tonight, that's proven to be the case, and I know they work hard on that defensive end on a daily basis and every aspect of the game, but they've really knuckled down here and put a good drive to the end.
12:04 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Play action, Wentz rolling out, sideline pass. He was looking for Wheeler Smith.
That's been
looking for Smith, and it was incomplete.
That's been a consistent connection for us between Cade and Wheeler Smith all year. They've done a good job working together.
Yeah, I was talking a little bit before the game and talking with Robert Lewis, and had a chance to talk to Coach Tucker earlier, and it was Coach Tucker talking about that. Not a big surprise, literally childhood friends. Wheeler Smith and Cade Wentz grew up together, playing football together, and all the way through high school and now on to college. So not a big surprise that they seem to be on the same page. Play action, and Wentz on the keeper, has a little bit of a lane, and he works his way past the 40 and out to the 43. That's a good job opening up a hole for Cade Wentz, who gets the 1st down.
Cade's a tough kid. He was sick earlier in the week. He's bounced back pretty well, and he's a competitor, and he's not afraid of contact. So that's a good thing to have a quarterback.
Yeah, gets all of the action so far tonight. Edward Norton, again, a regular at the quarterback position, sharing time with Cade Wentz, but not available, battling some injuries. So it's been Cade Wentz start to finish, and he has the Lancers with an 8-point lead here with the ball in the 4th quarter. Straight drop for Wentz. Pocket starts to collapse. He's on the roll on the far side, and he will be hit and dropped back at the 42. Rapola again quickly into the backfield, flushing Wentz outside. And that'll make it 2nd and long. Yeah, that was a good job by Jeremiah Wilson on the interior of that defensive line, getting into the backfield, and then Rapola and Orange giving chase on Wentz. 2nd down and 11, 10:30 to go. They send Russell in motion. They fake to Russell. Wentz working back to his left. Now lowers the shoulder out to the 47. Damon Young coming up to make the stop at the 42. Should say the 47, where it'll be 3rd down and about 6. Well, 3rd down conversion's always such a key stat. And Pasadena 6 of 10 tonight on 3rd down. And this is another big one. Looking to take some time off the clock. Pasadena has led throughout. Wentz sets up, on the move, hit from behind by Aram and brought down He got back to the line, and that'll bring up 4th down and should bring on the punting unit for Pasadena. I made the point earlier, Bones, that the way this one started out, I thought we might see 100 points combined between these two teams. Touchdowns on 5 of the first 6 drives, but what a job by both defenses, really adjusting in this one and slowing down the opposing offenses. And this one has really turned more into a defensive struggle.
It has here in the last quarter and a half, and Mount San Jacinto has been very strong offensively the entire year, and they have the record they have because their offense has been productive, and ours has moved the ball well under Coach Cushman, our offensive coordinator, and we're excited to see what happens here down the stretch.
Well, there was an opportunity there, perhaps, to see if they could push it out to a 2-possession game, but the Eagle defense steps up, gets off the field, and now the offense will come on. But they have found this Lancer defense to be quite the puzzle as this game has moved on. Again, this is an offense that came in on fire over their last 5 games. Massive hit from O'Day in the backfield. A loss on the play. That's an unbelievable job by Cole to hold on to the football, but it cost him 5 yards to do it back to the 20-yard line. And watch O'Day make the read here.
That's some very good contact.
How does Cole hold on to the ball? It's unbelievable. 5-yard loss, a 2nd and 15. Great read and hit from Salah O'Day. Friedland looking deep on the far side, wants Brown, who lays out but can't come up with it.
So, Jeff, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes. I'm going to go back to my day job. And,
absolutely.
I appreciate you being here again. I'm grateful for our administration to support you.
Yep.
I'm grateful that this has been a great game for our fans and our spectators. So
absolutely.
Thank
Bones,
you so much.
Great seeing you again, of course.
Miss seeing you guys. Look forward to talking to you again.
All right. Soon
Bye-bye,
enough.
Jeff.
All right. Tony Barbone taking some time to join us on the broadcast, Pasadena City College Athletic Director, and we thank him for coming along. That pass was actually intended for Sherrod Wright. I thought it was Talik Brown, but that shows the versatility of a guy like Sherrod White, I should say, because this is a wheel route that's about 30 yards downfield. And you see White, who has great hands, lay out but can't come up with it. Meanwhile, White gets the carry and finds some running room on the right side out past the 40 to the 43, about 2 yards shy of a first down. I should point out also that on the incompletion to White, there was a flag and a penalty against Pasadena. So that was a 1st and 10 for Sherrod White and an 8-yard carry, which brings up a 2nd and 2, 7:49 and counting remaining in the game. Pasadena leading it 28-20. Friedland sends McGee in motion. Straight drop, good protection in the flat to McGee. McGee tries to leapfrog, but he's not going to get very far. And he is wrapped up by O'Day. Getting out past the 45 to the 46, a gain of 3. And McGee brought down by O'Day with a little help from Pasadena's Jalen McGee. So we got Jalen McGee's on both sides. And I believe, as I'm hearing the call, I want to be right about that. I didn't check, but I believe it's Jalon McGee. And I want to try to get all pronunciations correct if I can, and I apologize if any have been mispronounced. Meanwhile, big hole for White into the secondary, into Lancer territory, all the way down inside the 25. So difficult to contain Sherrod White. And this is a great job on the sweep. And a big hole for White, who's now up to 87 yards on just 9 carries. Of course, last week in the victory over Compton, it was 114 yards for Sherrod White on just 9 carries. So he's a guy who can get it done in short work. And he was working behind the left side of that Mount San Jacinto offensive line. Brian Alcaraz, Adon Rodriguez, great job. Meanwhile, they go to Brown running right, and he is brought down at the 27. It's going to be a loss of a couple on the play. McGee on the stop. Second down and 2, I should say on 12 after the 2-yard loss. Clock continues to move, 6:04 and counting remaining in the game. The Lancers, where they have been so effective defensively all night, with their backs against their wall in their own territory. See if the Eagles can move it this time. 3 drives have stalled in Lancer territory, 2 of them very deep in Lancer territory. McGee, meanwhile, running into a slew of maroon jerseys as Jalen McGee gets into it a little bit with Jaylon McGee. After this carry, as you see McGee again coming off the edge, and that's good effort by Jalen McGee, who keeps trying to churn the legs, and he's a little bit hot after the play, but it's Jalen McGee that's trying to keep that play alive, and looks like the Lancers are just playing through the whistle. Second down and 12. Should say third down and 12. From the 27. Friedland, straight drop, going deep, in the corner, touchdown, Talik Brown. Well, it's already been a big night for Talik Brown, and it just got bigger. He's up over 100 yards, and he's got the touchdown as Friedland finds him with a 27-yard touchdown pass. He's one-on-one over there with Salah O'Day. And Brown comes down with the ball, 8 catches for 118 yards and a touchdown. It's a 2-point game. 5 minutes exactly remaining in the game, and Mount San Jacinto will go for 2, looking for the tie. Sherrod White to Friedland's right. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Friedland on the roll, throws, sideline, incomplete. Boy, he had his man. He was going back to Brown, and Brown had both hands on it but could not come up with it cleanly. So a couple of missed extra points, and now, as you see, Brown work free and had his hands on it, but can't come down with it cleanly. And the score remains 28-26. 2 extra points missed, and now a 2-point conversion that was just that close if you're the Eagles. That doesn't go their way. And with 5 minutes remaining in the game, it's a 2-point game. Pasadena on top, 28-26. SCFA Classic here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. And Ventura on top of College of the Canyons, 19-7. That's our other game here tonight on SoCal College Sports, and another game that has major postseason implications here in the SCFA, and the Pirates trying to stay unbeaten on the season and go on the road and beat a very good Cougar team. And if they could do that, they would have an inside track in the National Conference playoffs. So 28-26, Sabia has it teed up, end-over-end kick. Taken at the 10, out to the 25, 30, 35. Kindle brought down at the 37-yard line. So good field position for Pasadena. A 2-point game in favor of the Lancers. 4:54 remaining in the ball game.
A 27-yard kick return for Kindle. Lancers ball first and 10 from the PCC.
Eagles with just 1 timeout remaining. Pasadena still has all 3 of their timeouts. But right now, the Eagle defense needs to get the ball back for their offense one more time. Austria in motion. They fake to Anderson. Wentz picks up a block. He's at the 40. Gets another block at the 45. 50, 45, 40. Into Eagle territory. Still picking his way forward. Brought down at the 37. What a run by Cade Wentz. 26 yards. Boy, a couple of big-time blocks freed up Cade Wentz, who's now up over 80 yards on the ground. Watch the block here. There's one. And then he gets another one there. Great job blocking downfield. That was Justin Campbell, one of the team captains. And he steps up big time there. We already saw him with a touchdown catch in the first half, but that's a big block that buys Cade Wentz another 10 or 15 yards. So the Lancers quickly on the drive at the 37 of Mount San Jacinto. Anderson swallowed up in the backfield. Aram in the backfield quickly, and he has been getting to know Miles Anderson, particularly in this second half. Anderson got off to a very fast start running the ball against this Eagle defense, but they have adjusted well against Miles Anderson. But then Cade Wentz began to step up, already with 3 touchdown passes, but chips in now with 82 yards on the ground. And again, for those who follow the Lancers, not a big surprise, Cade Wentz is the leading rusher for Pasadena City College on the season. Loss of 3, a 2nd and 13. Jet sweep for Kindle, who sidesteps a tackler at the 40 and gets down to the 33, a 7-yard run. Moody eventually able to trip him up, but not before Kindle picks up 7 yards. That'll make it 3rd and 6 for the Lancers from the Eagle 33-yard line. Again, this would almost certainly be 4-down territory for Pasadena City College. The field goal attempt would be from 50 yards from this spot. Anderson flanking Cade Wentz, whistles before the snap. Here come the flags. It's a false start. So a 3rd and 6 will become 3rd and 11. And again, Pasadena 6 of 11 on 3rd down tonight. .233. Well, the clock is moving. Not sure why that would be the case after the false start, but they wind the clock. Meanwhile, the play clock is down to 1, and Pasadena going to take a timeout. That's their first charged timeout with 2:14 remaining in the game, and the Lancers facing a 3rd and 11. You're watching Pasadena City College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Third down and 11. The football resting on the Mount San Jacinto 38-yard line. Cade Wentz from the shotgun, receivers left and right. Blitz coming for the Eagles, good protection. Wentz fires over the middle and completes to Hartfield. This is a Pasadena first down. Hartfield with a stiff arm at the 20, still on his feet at the 15. Makes a low move at the 10, he's down to the 5, toward the goal line, and he's down at the 1. Well, he took a big hit at the 5 that almost knocked him into the end zone. But Hartfield down to the 1. Big plays on 3rd and 4th down here tonight for Jeremiah Hartfield. Working against Damon Young. He stiff arms him once, then makes a move again on Young before getting down to the 5, knocked forward to the 1. We have an Eagle player down, and with 1:52 to go, it's the Lancers that are on the doorstep at the Mount San Jacinto 1-yard line. In a 28-26 game, if they can get a touchdown here and an extra point, it's a 2-score game. And the Lancers might have gone a long way toward wrapping it up right there. Let's step aside for a timeout. You're watching Pasadena City College football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Goal from the 1 for Pasadena with 1:42 to go. And Pasadena might be content here to line up. Is this perhaps victory formation? Again, Mount San Jacinto only has 1 timeout. So this may be a situation where the Lancers can run this out without running a positive play. They might be able to kneel this one out. And indeed, it looks like that's what they're going to be able to do, as Wentz will take a knee. And Mount San Jacinto going to take a timeout. That'll be their final timeout with 59 seconds remaining. And the Lancers need only snap this a couple of more times, and they're going to get a win. Going to stay perfect at home this season, and they are going to create a 3-way tie for the American Conference Mountain Division Championship. Mount San Jacinto, Pasadena, and Grossmont will all finish with a 4-1 record in division play. The champion will be awarded based on RPI. Going into this week, that was Mount San Jacinto. Things, of course, can change. It's a complicated formula. And obviously, Pasadena is going to move up in terms of their RPI with this very impressive win. Grossmont gets a win by virtue of a forfeit by Compton today. So they're 4-1, but going into the week, it was Mount San Jacinto that had the lead in terms of RPI, and that's how the champion will be determined. The Eagles are going to see their 7-game win streak snapped, as they'll take a knee, and the clock will run, and now it's down to 1 minute, but the Eagles cannot stop the clock. This would just make it 3rd down. And they can run this down to about 30 or a little under 30 seconds. So 1 more snap and Pasadena will have the win. Now in terms of the Lancers, they moved to 7-2 and 4-1 in the conference. And this is a big win. But again, we talked at the top about how tight the race is to get to postseason play. Only 4 spots. There's the Conference Championship, and then there's the Western State Bowl. And for the American Conference, that is the extent of postseason play. So stay tuned. If you're a Pasadena fan, they made a big statement here. This is going to help their RPI. But you got 3 divisions, you got a lot of teams, and you only got 4 spots. So we'll wait and see where Pasadena ends up, and is the 13-year drought without a postseason appearance over for the Lancers. They're certainly close. They're on the precipice, and we'll know soon enough whether or not this Lancer team is going to see postseason play. But for now, they can certainly be pleased and terribly proud to have forged a three-way tie for their division championship. Want to pass along special thanks to some people. Casey Mazzotta and Robert Tucker had a chance to talk with both coaches this week. Thanks to both of them for taking the time. Really enjoyed talking with both coaches and learning a little bit about the teams. Thanks to Chris Mosca over at Mount San Jacinto College for helping to facilitate that. And, of course, here, our good friend, Athletic Director Tony Barbone. Great to see Bones again, and thanks to him for helping to set this up and make this happen so that we could bring you PCC football this season. Thanks to Robert Lewis, Sports Information Director, for the 100 different things that he does for us to help us get ready for the broadcast. So thanks very much to Robert. Of course, our team, Andrew Stephen on camera tonight. Thanks to Andrew, and tonight's broadcast directed by Lorenzo Osuna. And it was great to be working with Lorenzo again. And, of course, tonight's broadcast produced and directed by Mike Zepeda as well here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. Once again, final score, Pasadena 28, Mount San Jacinto 26. The Lancers take it in a squeaker to move to 7-2. Mount San Jacinto falls to 7-2 with the loss here tonight. For everybody at SoCalCollegeSports.com, thanks so much for joining us. So long, everybody.